Somebody called them novelty vampires. You're just always looking to suck the new out of the world. You just always, it's got to be something new all the time. And right, as technology, but there's a difference between doing something new because it's better and doing something new just because, I'm 45, kids now learn no languages I don't know, blah, 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 I'm afraid. Right? If my motivation is fear of being left behind, then I think I get into more of this pathology. Oh, I'm going to use Ruby on Rails for this project just because if I don't do it now, everybody else will know Rails and I won't know Rails. I told you I take my job way too seriously. So that's a very different gesture than, okay, here I am, I have a project, I've heard about Rails, I really like what I hear about it, the ideas seem interesting, I'm ready at the moment for learning, I'm eager to go and find something out, the client for this project, if we have hiccups, it's not a big deal, so I'm just going to go and do it as a natural expression of who I am as a programmer. I like learning new technologies. To me, even though the act, let's use Rails for this project, just to pick on a sort of new technology, even though the act is the same, the motivations are completely different, and I would expect the outcomes to be very different as well. Yes? So the question is about how do you sustain the sense of joy. I think the first one is it's a whole lot easier if you have an accurate self-image. If you're swinging the pendulum, you just get tired of swinging. You don't have time to learn new technology. You don't have energy to learn new technology if you're going back and forth between the hero and the idiot. So maintaining that sense of self that says, yes, what I do changes the world, but I also rely on a lot of other people, and together we can change the world in these ways and not in these other ways. Having that sense seems to me to be the number one key to sustaining that sense of joy. Freshness is an interesting topic because it can be really this pathological search for freshness. Always the new, without ever really enjoying what you have now. But you can do almost the same actions, but from a very different place, where you say, I'm a member of a community of people, millions of people creating technology, and I want to be involved in that. So naturally, as a consequence of that, I'm going to try out some brand new things. I'm going to try out some stuff that's been around for a while. I'll do some projects in older technologies. It's just a consequence of being in this whole community. And to me, if I keep my self-image accurate and kind of in balance. By the way, shoveling horse manure is a super way to do this. Okay, I'll get to it in a second. Actually going out, and we have a horse at our farm, and going out and doing something physical that's smelly, but it washes off, it's really important, keeps me like, okay, yeah, this is my place in the world. Sometimes I write books, sometimes I write programs that change the world, and sometimes I shovel horse manure. Oh, okay, that's cool. Now, in that context, having kids is also a really good way to do this because you figure out, okay, yeah, sometimes a respected guru author, yada, 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 sometimes cleaning up spit up. Okay, cool. Yeah, in a balanced life will have some of all of those. So, yes. No, I think that is the pathology of our industry, is this collective insanity that things can't just be okay, right? That okay means something is horribly wrong. And so this came up in a phone conversation yesterday. A company signed a contract. They wanted software that worked really well in August. And last week they said we were going live at the end of this week. And the answer was, wow, that's not my problem. In the sense that that doesn't change my worth as a programmer. It doesn't shove me 1 millimeter on the pendulum that somebody said, no, not August, May. That's something about them and their needs, and now we can have a conversation about it. But if the software isn't production ready at the end of this week, it doesn't mean anything about me. And maintaining that sense of boundaries, to me, that's the first step, and is also something I'm working hard to improve, which is another way of saying I'm usually really, really bad at it. But being able to say, okay, I understand that you need something by the end of the week. Here's where we are, realistically today. Here's what I can here's the kind of things I could accomplish in a week that seem to me in the direction that you need. What does that sound like to you? Okay, that attempt, I don't know, is that an attempt to push you off of feeling at ease? Yeah, I think so. Could be. It could be an attempt to just say, oh, you know, a happy programmer is a powerful programmer, and we don't want that around. If it was that, I mean, in any case, responding, that's the beginning. The worst thing about this talk is I don't have it all worked out. But that's also part of being okay with not having it all worked out. So I'm practicing even as I try and inarticulately answer your question. Oh, that's one of the rules of effective conversation, by the way, is allowing somebody to be inarticulate. So thank you all for bearing with me, those of you who are. Somebody trying to mess with my sense of ease, from my perspective, is the beginning of a conversation, not the end of a conversation. Okay, so I said things are going really well, and now I hear you changing all the rules. So what's up with that? What are you trying to accomplish here now? What is it that you really need? What is it that you need that you're not getting? Well, you can have a conversation about that. And maybe there's something real. Maybe it is somebody just yanking your chain. But if you don't have the conversation, you'll never find out. But the one I have to remind myself is just because somebody else says they want something impossible doesn't mean that I'm a schmuck if I can't do it. So, how much more time, Alberto? 0. Okay.